What is going on, everyone? It is Wednesday, 11 o'clock Eastern here in New York. So we're live. Call for the Creators. This is episode 92, 3, somewhere around there. Crazy, right? This is not a green screen. This is 42 West 18th Street, Adorama itself. You guys know you're welcome in these chairs as much as you're welcome in that chat that you're in right now. I got a feeling the mics are weird. Hang on. I see what happened. That should be better. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. So we did the intro, right? So let me get into Jacqueline here in a second. We're going to go into who this person is, who has been instrumental in this industry for decades. But before we do that, you know what I got to do? I got to go through some housekeeping here. So first, I want to say a quick thank you to Printique. Printique is Adorama's printing division. There's multiple branches to what's going on here at Adorama. It's bigger than you think. They actually share a building with the rentals department, believe it or not, but it's printed right here in Brooklyn. So when you guys are getting some prints, just know it's being done by professional in-house at Adorama. It's not some random place or just a printer in a closet somewhere. They offer a lot of cool styles, metal prints, books, all sorts of stuff. Check out the link down below for all the offerings, and also check them out on social so you can see BTS of how things are printed and maybe some options and things that are coming for options to you guys. Does that make sense? Is that kind of English here, editor?
Yes.
Kind of English?
Yes,
Okay, cool.
Kind of.
English. But
okay, it works.
I want to thank Printique for sponsoring this. And I want to give a huge thank you to Tenba, who said, hey, we want to be part of this show and give cool stuff to great people. And they decided to make a custom camera bag for Coffee Creators, and you get one.
Oh, wait, I get one? I'm so excited because I just got a camera recently. I'm so excited.
Look at that.
Can I
metal plate
this way?
Yeah, go for it. Metal plate,
wait,
custom
this is
made.
beautiful.
Yeah,
I feel like Vanna White.
Vanna White. You're gonna start flipping over lighters in the back over here. Tenba
thank you, Tenba.
No, of course. Tenba was started right here in New York in 1976, I believe, by a photographer. So if you have been in this industry for a long time, you probably own something Tenba. I say this every time. I love their little tech cap cases. They have like clear windows on both sides. Saves me a lot of time. They're never kid I have. Thank you, Tenba. And lastly, I want to give a huge thank you to Gotham Roasters for hooking us up. Cheers, kid. What'd you get?
Cheers. I got an iced coffee with almond milk. Very boring.
Oh, come on.
It's my mainstay.
Come on. We're New Yorkers, man. I want to thank Gotham for hooking us up. They are one block over on 19th Street. They're Hood. They're right here. And it's owned by a photographer and a filmmaker. So make sure you go over there before you come to Adorama. Say what's up. Tell them Adorama sent you. Maybe come here for a demo. All caffeinated, ready to go. And thank you, Gotham, for that. So now, who is Jacqueline Tobin? First of all, are we live? Because this chat room is pretty quiet. You guys in there? Let me know. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Somebody's here. Yay.
So who's Jacqueline? So it's funny. Jacqueline has been probably part of every professional photographer's life for decades. They just didn't even know it, or they totally know because she did a lot for them. For decades, she was the managing editor for PDN, Photo District News. If you know you know exactly what that is if you've been around for a minute. That was a magazine that was in every public darkroom, every print house, everywhere you went to get film developed, in this store, at every retailer, at every college. There were stacks of PDN to let you know what was going on in this industry, and it was like a Bible to figure out what's coming up, where to go, who to know, what they're up to, and it was very well curated, well put together, and you were behind all that. And she was also a editor-in-chief of Rangefinder, which was like adjacent to that magazine.
The sister pub. Of
Does it called Sister? Yeah.
Called it that.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. I've never heard of that. But it was a really cool magazine. And she actually gave me a 2-page spread years ago out of a shot I did here as a demo. And I met you in those offices and you're like, send me a Dropbox. And I feel like that's kind of what you're about to everyone here, is that they get to know you. You are so interested in their work genuinely. It's not just like I'll take a look at it. Like you actually look at it, you decipher it, and then you start curating it for them. And next thing they know, they're elevating. The level of their notoriety goes up, their opportunities start opening up. And it's all because the right eyes with the right brain behind those eyes was looking at it and going, no, here's your path. I'm telling you. And by the way, I know all these people, make sure you know them as well. So you've probably woven together endless careers, at the very least, opportunities for not just photographers, but creatives as well, other writers, things like that. So yeah, this is Jacqueline Tobin, guys. I don't think you know this, but lastly, I'm just going to cap this off with, She is a writer right here at the Adorama blog, which is edited by our own Daniel Norton. Can you believe this? So I wanted to keep bringing on people you should know that you probably don't see a lot. We see Daniel a lot. You know, he does the demos, he coughs in the mic, and he does the more shots. But Jacqueline has been around forever, and I think you're a huge asset to a lot of the people in this industry. But now you're an asset to Adorama being on the blog. I was like, we got to put you on here.
I love it. I love doing it. So thank you.
No, thank you.
Big shout out to Daniel. He's the best editor ever.
He's all right. He's okay.
I love working with him.
But you didn't just do a couple magazines. You didn't just read a bunch of articles. I mean, I'm looking at books you have here. You even said to yourself that you forgot some of the things that you've done over the years. And it's been a prolific career. I mean, it's been we're talking decades. I think you started at PDN in 86.
I was 23 years old, right out of Cornell. I know. I was a baby. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew, like, I always wanted to be in magazines. Like, since I was 10 years old, I wanted to write and be an editor and do photography. My dad had a darkroom in our basement, so I learned like black and white processing in our basement next to the boiler. Like, it was just my passion to be creative in a family of lawyers and dentists. I'm like the only creative. They're probably like shrieking right now that that's not true, but so it's just interesting.
So how did the photo come into play? Because your father did it as a hobby?
Yeah, he did it as a hobby. He was always like fiddling with something, and he loved photography. So he set up these little trays literally next to the boiler. That sounds dangerous to me, but because there were chemicals. And it was just really fun. I had this old like Nikon SLR, and I went around doing my thing, but I found out quickly I was not a great photographer, but I was a really good writer. So I decided to write about photography. Like at Cornell, I worked on the Cornell Daily Sun, which was their newspaper I was in the agriculture school, which sounds nuts. It's the only way I could get in. So,
what a crazy path.
Yeah. But I remember like chasing this, like they had this like paper mache dragon. It was like the end of school year, big event, and it was set on fire, and I had to capture it, and I could feel the heat on my face. And I was like, I want to do this forever, like, or be a reporter, you know? And so that was my sort of pathway in. I actually worked on a magazine at Cornell about cockroaches.
What?
Or I wrote an article about cockroaches. It was an article. The whole magazine wasn't about
Who
that.
are you?
But I remember I had to go to the entomology department, and like that was sort of my talent of like making something out of nothing.
Okay.
Did you know that some cockroaches are like that big? Like I found out. It was fun.
I mean, I've lived in New York my whole life. I definitely know cockroaches.
I've seen one in my bathroom at some point.
It's funny. Nick was saying, I love that magazine. It was expensive. Not the cockroach magazine.
Right.
I said it was expensive, but I tried to buy some used or new. I aspired to be some of those big time photographers in it. You're the one who put the people in there that Nick was trying to aspire to be.
Write to me, Nick.
I mean,
Because, yeah. I have a bunch of magazines in my apartment I can give away, because I have no room for them.
So I'm going to show this really quick, because this is what I was talking about. So I met Jacqueline inside. Actually, I met you at a couple of gallery shows, but I don't think we actually like connected. Just hi, whatever. Then I went to the office, and you were just like, just send me all your stuff. And I was like, what? And I remember I sent you a massive Dropbox.
Oh, I love that Dropbox.
It was ridiculously. I was like, I just chucked everything I could think of in there. And one of the things I threw in there was something I just shot here as a live demo on Shutter Dragon. I'm like, live demos, if anybody does demos knows, they're throwaways. You're just trying to show a technique. 8-ball, corner pocket, and you move on. I don't know. You saw something this shot, which is this shot. And then next thing I knew, it was a 2-page spread in that magazine. It made
that looks good. That was my editor's pick. Yeah.
That's wild. And I just thought,
I hate the whole gutter situation, but there's nothing we could do at that time. Like that, you know, that's
fold.
Another thing. Like trying to have not the most important content fall right in the gutter, which in this image it worked. Yeah, it's fine. But I fought for like a 6-page spread, and I only, even as an editor-in-chief, I only got 2. So I apologize, but I love that image.
I was like, this is wild. You know, I always had these I always printed in magazines that weren't in the photo industry, right? Then to be in a photo industry, it kind of changed my brain a little bit. And I was like, yo, this is actually means a lot more than some of those commercial things I shot, or like cover for that, whatever. Like, this is validation from within the house, which was very, very cool. So thank you for that. It was major.
Yeah, you were so gracious. That's what I love about the photographers I meet. You were so gracious. You dumped in like so many photos in that Dropbox. And I remember like when I was doing this, my first book called Wedding Photography Unveiled, which is sitting over here.
Which one?
Yeah. I called 20 wedding photographers back in like 2008. I didn't know them. I knew them because of their work, but they didn't know me. They gave me hundreds and hundreds of photos. We didn't pay them. They were so gracious, like Jose Villa, Elizabeth Messina, Christian Oath. Uh,
And these are all
Amy-
massive names now.
yeah. And like this book was actually recently named on this top 10 list
Whoa.
of
An equipment checklist. Like
I wonder if that's still well. Anyway, my point is that this writer for Petapixel, Ivan, I'm so sorry I can't remember your last name, but he put me on this list of 10 or 20 classic photo books every photographer should read now, and this was on it. And this was in March, so I was so grateful for that. And he was saying how it's still relevant today, these 20 and their style and how they shoot. It's still relevant.
You should totally revisit this.
I should push the publisher to get a second edition or something, or do a follow-up.
Well, what if you did an article form for Adorama? You know,
yeah, then that'd be awesome.
You know, yeah, look at that. Unbelievable. Is it still available?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. So
yeah, buy it, people.
Wedding Photography Unveiled by Jacqueline Tobin.
As an AM photo through Random House.
Oh, amazing.
So that was really fun. And so I think I went off on a tangent, but my point was that photographers just gave me so many images and they didn't know me, but they trusted, like they knew PDN or Rangefinder at the time, and they knew I built up a reputation. So I'm just so grateful to have that connection with people like you and the people in that book. So it's really important to me because the only thing I can do well, I can do two things: write and have a really good eye. And so I think that has carried me through. Like I trust my eye. I know I see things that other people don't see in an image. And so I'm really like, I just love helping photographers find their voice or curate their portfolio, see something that they don't see that I see, because photographers, I think, are not they're not the best editor of their work.
Yeah, we're too close to it.
Yeah.
We're looking too close to it. I was even saying to Jacqueline before, like, I even gave up on culling images. Like, let's say I do a new product video for you guys. I don't want to pick an image to put up there. I just take all the images I shot, I make them into a 60-second slideshow reel. I'm like, knock it out. But when you're trying to really boil it down, if you're putting out 100 images out of one set, you're talking out of a million sides of your mouth instead of making a clear point. Right. And I think you're the one that goes, here's what you're trying to say. This is the image that says the thing. It makes the most impact. And I think you're as important as the people that shoot.
Right.
I mean, what good is our work if it doesn't actually go anywhere or do something?
Right.
You were telling me before we got started that you had people that were ready to give up, and you were like, no, don't give up. And it like changed their career.
Yeah. This woman, Susan Barnett, I hope she is okay with me saying her name because she's brilliant. And I met her at this Powerhouse portfolio review years ago in Dumbo. And she had a body of work of these people in t-shirts, and she was shooting the back of their t-shirts. And then you'd see like, in front of them was like wherever they were all over the world in different cool locations. And so it was called Not in Your Face. And she was showing me some of the work before it became that. And I said, you have to stick with this. I love this. Like, I'm not seeing anything like this. A portrait doesn't mean you have to see the person's face. Right. And so,
portray the person.
Yeah. And I mean, it went on to be this big book and a big exhibition, and she went all over the country or world. And like, I just love her work. So look her up, Susan Barnett. 2 T's, I think. But people like that, like, I'm not saying I made their careers, but I helped them along the path because, I really love like motivating people to just not give up.
I feel like you really quickly realized that this is your role in this industry and that you totally have a connection to photography itself.
Oh, yeah.
What didn't connect for you with shooting for yourself? Like,
I love that question because I always say I like to shoot the offbeat or in between moments nobody sees. Like for Henri Cartier-Bresson, that worked, but for me, it didn't. Like the in the moment stuff, I did the not in the moment stuff, like the quirky. I love quirky offbeat things.
I know you.
I do.
Yes, you
do. How do you know that?
Because I've seen what you pull.
Oh shit!
And also, and the way you talk all the time. When you get excited about something, it's something odd, and I'm like, okay.
Oh my god! But I own that because it's like makes me.
Well,
right?
also, why would I want something curated for me that's boring? Like you see what is worthwhile for people to ingest visually and have impact. I think it's incredible. And I don't think you can understate how important people like you are as a role in this industry, but also the people that are great at it like you. I'm so glad Daniel was like, I'm going to bring in Jacqueline to write for the blog.
Oh, I'm so happy. I love working with him and writing. I've done so many articles
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
I have a whole like 4 pages of articles, things I've written for Adorama, the Adorama blog.
I
Like
mean,
for Marilyn Monroe's birthday, I did this big article working with the Getty Images, head of the archive, Bob Ahern, and one of the like chief photographer. And I'm so sorry that names are escaping me right now, but it was such a fun article to do. They were so gracious. They always give us images to run. Um, and we published it. Daniel published it on June 1st.
was
So it was like,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
an article about her and the archive. And like they invited me to go to London to get a tour of the archive. Like these things are just so special to me, and
Yeah.
to like the people that I meet. It's really cool.
Who do you feel is someone that's been in this industry, or like a name as a photographer that you feel like hasn't been, like, I'm talking about someone legacy, someone that might not be with us anymore, that you feel like was way too under the radar, wasn't, because I feel like there's some photographers that hit, like we had Neil Leifer here. His
Right.
photography went way out of our industry and into what sports photography was, and people that connect with sports, maybe not photography, could totally recognize a Neil Leifer image
Right.
and how it impact them. Who's someone you feel that hasn't had that moment, but you feel
Oh, yikes.
that, is there any names that
I
come to mind?
can't, of course not, because I'm older now and I can't remember anything.
Well, you have like a million names in
Wait,
your
I
head.
have to rip off my
You've met
jacket
so many,
now.
go for it. You met so many people in so many crazy fly by night ways. I mean,
Like I'm sure it'll come to me later, but what I do want to say is that like I've interviewed some of the most amazing legends in photography that ever were, and what bothers me now is that like the newer or younger generation, they're not taught about these
No.
people and they don't know them. So if I say I interviewed Gordon Parks and Arnold Newman and Harry Benson, and who actually toured with the Beatles when they were first coming out, like, you know, he did the photography, and Elliot Irwin, oh my God, he made me espresso while he wore this funny, cute little t-shirt with a joke on it. And he was so shy,
yeah,
but not really. And so for me, it's like, I can't remember now to answer your other question, but like, I just want those people to be remembered and have their work like have another life. You know,
they didn't live in the influencer era, you know what I mean? So
right.
Like,
but I think it's really important to learn, if you're a photographer, learn about the history of photography and who some of these greats were. You know, I interviewed Mary Ellen Mark. I don't know who knows her now, but
wow.
she was scary, and people said, you're not gonna like her, she's scary. No, she hugged me at the end.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't hug anyone, and I'm sorry, like, because she's gone now, but she was amazing. People like that.
Her images are incredible.
So I'm more about like getting those people back in the mix. Like that's why let's bring PDN back. PDN was so great.
I think digitally, it'd be amazing,
right?
Like an app that people can keep on. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah. I still get messages. Holly Hughes, who was the editor for years, she still gets messages like, "Bring PDN back. Where is it?"
That'd be really cool. And you could have an archive of all the stuff that people could go back through. Like this, it was so cool to just have it around. I remember you could literally go like this at a time in our industry. You go like this, and you touch like an issue of PDN. It was at every commercial studio I was at. It was on a coffee table. Like it was such a thing. But
you know how it got started?
How did it get started?
This guy Carl Pugh, who was a photographer, worked somewhere down here in the photo district. He wanted to place an ad for equipment or something, and couldn't find anything. So he couldn't find any like appropriate classifieds or somewhere to put his ad. So he started a photo magazine.
Interesting.
Yeah. And like we were right around the corner from Dugal for years down here.
That's a name.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were on Park and 20th or something like that for years. I mean, PDN made me. I'm so grateful for that job. And then Lauren Wendell like handpicked me to be the editor-in-chief of Rangefinder after that. And then I was sitting next to Holly, and you know, because we were the sister pub of each other. So anyway, it's really important, I think, to just keep those connections going. When I got laid off in 2023 in a group layoff from Rangefinder, and I thought, oh my God, my life's over.
Great run though.
But I thought, oh my God, it's over for me. No, it just began. Like I'm the happiest I've ever been. Like everybody, I guess, when they go through it, you think, oh God, I'm done. And then no, this is great, because people like Teresa Raffetto, who work here, like she got me in the door here with Daniel to do this wedding workshop, cover the wedding workshop.
That's right. Oh,
yeah, the first one. And I wrote it, and I thought, oh no, Teresa, because I'm very self-effacing, like he's gonna hate it. But then he liked it, and so I got started writing. So yeah, I'm rambling,
no,
but like
when you came to that wedding work, so It's funny because like I always thought
I love that
Jacqueline as like
workshop.
this editor, right? Like you're always up here, and I was like, you would go to see Jacqueline. When I saw you come to the wedding workshop and you physically took out a pen and pad and you're writing it
Oh
down
my
like
God,
April
yeah.
O'Neil or
Old
something,
school.
and I'm like, I was so wild to see that. To me, I was like, look, she's like in it. Like she's in it. Like
Yes.
this is so crazy. And then you came here to talk about the event space and stuff, and you were there with the pad and pen. I'm like, man, like she's really doing this. I like she had so many notes that then she had to boil down and actually write it. And then there's like a million blogs out there that is AI garbage.
But
Like
you know
it's
what's
incredible.
funny? I'll tell you a secret. I carry these notebooks and I'm furiously writing. You've seen me sit back there.
Yeah.
I don't even open the book when I'm writing the article. I don't look at the notes. I'm just trying to like take
Process
it
it.
in. Yeah. So
Oh, there's a bunch of love for you in this chat right here.
oh yay. I don't have my glasses on.
Manuel is saying Jacqueline put me on. Love her so much. Loving this conversation. Love Jackie's wedding books.
Thank you.
Kristen Frank saying I love that magazine. Read it cover to cover and saved every copy. You should digitize it, Kristen.
Oh
'cause they're
yes,
gone.
I'll pay you for it. Like I'm serious. I don't have any of my old copies anymore because I live in a small apartment. I had hundreds of PDNs and like
Yeah.
a couple hundred of rangefinders, and now look, I have like 2 rangefinders that I
I
brought.
couldn't even find the issue that you put me in because I only had 2 copies of it. I gave
Right.
one to the model. And so it's funny. I was talking to Daniel about this the other day. We used to have tear sheet books, which is what you would do. But then you also have the magazine itself that you were in. And I remember I had a studio by myself in Brooklyn, and I used to have them all over every surface so people could see. And someone came up to me and said, how come all your magazines are out of date? And then I realized no one cares. No one cares. They think the magazines are just like
Right.
entertainment. They don't care. So it's tough to keep some of that stuff.
I know it is.
It really is. I think that's why digitizing, I think, would be sick. Donna's saying Jackie is the real deal. She cares about photography and photographers. The lawyers in the family love her creativity.
Is that my sister?
Probably. That
I
sounds
don't
like
know.
sister.
Is it a Diamond or Tobin ending? That might be my
Donna.
okay. That might be my sister. Thank you, Donna.
Kristen's saying she was at that wedding workshop and met Jacqueline. So she could
Oh,
meet you.
Kristen, I love her. I met Kristen. I met Jen Maloney, Manai Ford. I think again, I'm so bad with names, but these people, they gave me their images so that I could do the workshop article. They just gave them to me. You know, we're not paying for the images, and like they're just so gracious. And they had just met me. It was Jen Maloney. I love her. She's like an ambassador for Printique now.
So her story's nuts. So she showed up to the wedding workshop by accident. Like she actually found some kind of event listing for it because she was shopping for a camera and clicked on this thing by accident, sent it to the event.
Wow.
So then she went to the workshop.
I love her. We met there.
Yeah.
We became like BFFs. I love her.
She's here all the time. Yeah.
I know she's fantastic. I always like push her. I think her work is really strong. I was trying to help curate her stuff. She doesn't need my help, but like people like that, you know, like you just never know who you're going to meet at these Adorama events. They're amazing.
I think people have a poison that if they stay in their own head, they only see what they know, what they're thinking about. Go out there, go to things, be around people that are doing the things you're doing. For when I was growing up, and Daniel actually stopped this for me, it was tooth and nail for me. Like every other photographer's an enemy. I can't let anybody see my stuff. I'm tearing up Polaroids so no one sees how I do things. And I was so nervous about someone just grabbing a job from me. And then Daniel was like, you can't shoot everything, man. Like you need some friends in this industry. Don't keep on making enemies.
Also, like your eye is your eye. So people can't steal that from you, right? Like they can be inspired by you. They can try to imitate or mimic you, but like your eye is your eye. And I think that's the one thing, like I try to tell these photographers, like just stay, like tap into your signature voice, do what you love. Because I was telling you earlier, this photographer that I met when Rangefinder used to do the 30 Rising Stars, and I think she tried to get in the first time because it was through nominations only. And then we would like vet the work and then invite people to submit. But she didn't make it the first time and her work was strong. But what she was doing was getting so tangled on social media with looking at everybody else's work. And I said, just do me a favor, step away. Just don't go on social media for 2 weeks, because she was telling me who she was influenced by. And I said, just step away for 2 weeks. That's all. And then she came back the next year and she got in because she listened to me, but she also like really found her groove, found her voice. Like people who know me, I talk endlessly about signature voice. It's probably boring to keep hearing me drone on about that. But how else do you stand apart, right? Like I met you and you were doing these crazy special effects and things, but they still seemed like they're real, but they still seem like Like, I love the simplicity of them, but then that they're not simple to do, you know what
Oh,
I mean? But you made it look simple, and
thank you.
that's where I, like, really gravitated towards your
No,
work.
I appreciate it.
Um,
Where do you what do you say to someone that's having trouble finding value in their work? Because like every time you meet somebody, like everyone's a photographer, everybody's this. I'm published, I'm award winning. So
right.
what do you say to photographers that are getting? They just feel like I don't know where I'm going with this. How do I find value in my work? What do you say to someone like that?
I feel like just the fact that you chose to do it, there's value in that, right? It sounds corny, but there is. And then I always advise, like, you must have some photographer friends, have them look at it. Like, don't just be in a closet doing it yourself. You need to show people.
Mm.
And like yesterday, I was on this. Elizabeth Messina is a wedding and maternity photographer, and like has this ethereal, romantic vision in every one of her photos. And she has this art society now, so I went on and did portfolio reviews with some of her members for like 3 hours. And it was really interesting because she had a completely different take on the images we were seeing. So what if she said, "Oh, I wanted to turn this into black and white. I like the black and white better." And I said, "I like the original." So we kept saying the opposite of each other. So my long-winded point is somebody's going to always see something different in your work, but don't give up, and just like again, if you try to find out like what's your message, what's your style, what are you trying, maybe you're just trying to take a photo and there's no message, but that's also a message.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I think if people are almost looking for a reason to quit because there's so many people,
I hope they don't.
it's
Right.
tough.
There's
It's tough.
so much out there, especially we were talking about earlier with like a lot of YouTube influencers, and they're just
Yeah.
become insta famous. But they know nothing about like photography or the technical aspects. I mean, some of them do, but probably get ripped for that
I
later.
don't
But
I don't
like,
look, I'm a technical guy and I
right.
don't ever look at people like don't understand the technical as like they can't be a photographer. Like they're still creating something, right?
Yeah.
When you get caught in the technical is when someone asks you to achieve a certain thing and they go, I don't know how to do that. Well, then you're not a commercial photographer, maybe.
But that's why I gave up photography. The technical was just above my head. I know what I like. I know my eye, but the technical parts, I couldn't like get my head around
Do you
it.
feel that the newer technology and all the equipment might help you with that these days? Like, I feel like, you were shooting film in an SLR and all that stuff, but
Right.
now you have cameras that can recognize the human face. Like, do you
Right. I
feel
mean,
like,
you could start that way, right? But then I would actually advise to then put it down and shoot film with
mm,
a camera and see. I feel like that helps you learn more and see
I would
different things.
I would love to see a series where Daniel mentors you to shoot. I
Oh
think
my
that would be
God, let's
so
do
cool.
it. Yes.
Daniel, he did it with Marissa, and it was a really good
Okay, because
series.
I like need help. I just bought a camera from Joe Gaviria, who I
Wait,
also did an
what camera
article
did you
on.
buy?
Uh, I can't even remember. Fuji X10.
Fujifilm
100, I
X106.
100, yes, and I'm like he kept telling me how easy it is to use, and then
Dude,
he keeps texting me, "Did you play with it yet? Did you play with it?" And I keep making excuses.
I know it's
Sorry,
easy to
Joe.
make excuses.
Yeah,
But that's a
but, like,
camera.
somebody teach me. Maybe you can. You said that camera's amazing.
It's not even amazing. It's a unicorn. Like people have been trying to get it for years,
I
and she
have
just
one.
walks up.
I
And
know.
she even said, like, I think it's an X106. I'm like, I don't think so,
I know.
Jacqueline. That's
It's
really.
something like
It was so amazing. But that camera's so easy to carry around, especially in New York. Like
yeah.
I think the hardest part for people with getting started is having the habit to go shoot. Like I think people get a lot of nerves. Like I'm on the street. I don't want to pull up my camera and take pictures of strangers. Like you kind of got to get rid of those nerves. Get
But
a
see,
little.
that doesn't bother me. But, like, what would you
Okay,
say to someone? I have a question for you.
go for it.
Someone like me who can't even figure out the menu settings on my Sony A7R or whatever it
Throw it on
is.
auto and point it at
I know,
something.
but that feels like cheating.
It's not cheating. Which I'll tell you what the problem is that people that are okay with what they get.
Right,
If you came to me and said, okay, I shot this, but I don't like how the sky's too bright and this is that.
right.
Now let's talk about technical. How could I tell the camera what I want to do? Ian Spanier last night had a great line where he said, like, if you're letting the camera do it, it's telling the picture for you instead of you telling it how you want to take the picture.
Uh-huh.
So you have the eye to say, I want this to look like this. Now we got to fill that
Right.
gap in on how to do that. That's the easy part. I mean, it's practice and all that other stuff, but I think just point at something and get going. It's just like anything else. Like, how do I get to this destination? Well, you start walking.
Right.
And then maybe you find a car,
Right.
and then maybe you find the directions. You know what I mean? Oh, there's so many people.
I
in the
mean,
street.
maybe I'm
Oh,
stubborn. I just
you sound a
want
little
to do it
stubborn to
myself.
me.
But, you know, like you and Daniel went to that school, the Oyster Bay High School, and taught these kids how to
Oh, I forgot about that.
shoot film. I did an article on it.
Yeah.
And like I thought that was so cool.
Oh, Dan
Because like
sandbagged me into that. He
oh,
was
he
like,
did?
"You're going
No,
out
because
of
I
your
love it. Because like people, these processes are back. Black and white film, it's back. It's been back for a while, but it's like my heart. I love black and white.
yeah,
I
I
love
know.
shooting film. On LinkedIn recently, this platinum printer, Martin Axon, reached out to me because we had done an article on him in PDN years and years and years ago. And he just wrote to me and said that article really helped sort of push my career to the next level. And he's still working with like Michael O'Neill and people like that. And I want to try to get an article on him or something. He's great. And I just love that, like, those things never go out of style, right?
Yeah.
Well, most people are learning digital and don't even know how to load a film camera or ever held a roll of film like those students you found out, right? But they loved it.
Well, they also never tried. They never.
Right.
It wasn't that they couldn't or whatever. It's like they weren't around like a common thing anymore. But Daniel kept on saying the same line. I wanted to smack him, but he's right. He's like, you got to look for the magic. Look at the magic. When they pull out the film, the magic. I'm like, and I kind of forgot what that was like because 25 years ago, I was that kid.
Right.
You know, it's hard to remember what it was like smelling that developer for the first time.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think the one thing that stops photographers from going forward or just giving up is they never hit a point of validation. Like they never get like an editor giving them a page, or like for me, I
Right.
mean, getting a cover, it probably changed my life. Getting billboards changed my life.
Right.
But now they just want someone to hit like for free on an image on Instagram and get acknowledged that they did something.
Right.
And that's even hard. I think that's the thing. People are looking for validation in what they're pouring themselves into.
I mean, I didn't really answer your question. I
It's all good.
apologize. But I think doing it for yourself is cool. And yeah, you want that validation or you want to get hired. Oh, look,
Teresa
Teresa.
says, couldn't comment on my iMac. I love Jackie. She's a gem with so much interesting knowledge. So she's so gorgeous with sharing. Gorgeous or generous? Generous with. I'm so tired, guys. So generous with sharing that knowledge. It's been great working with her again. I mean,
I owe Teresa everything because she got me in here writing for Daniel. I tell her every time I see her, but again, it's like, who do you know? Like, I thought my life was over when I got laid off and nobody would talk to me again because I was like the face of Rangefinder. And then you quickly find out, like, you have no friends. They all left because you can't get them published anymore. But no, that didn't happen to me. And I've
Let's stay
maintained these
connected.
relationships, or they've maintained them with me. And it's fantastic.
But that's why it's not who you know, it's the relationships.
Yeah.
Because people look, we say that word a lot in this industry, but it really is. Teresa Raffetto, by the way, is the events producer.
Yes.
She's booking all the stuff.
She's
the hands-on, the people in
amazing.
here. But you guys didn't know is she also booked me to speak at WPPI. So I knew her from that, right? It's like we keep on, if you keep good relationships and you're a quality person that brings something to the table and is a genuine human, people want to work with you more. They want to keep you around more. You can't just, I met that person. The
Right.
thing that drives me nuts, and you all have to stop this, is when people come up to me 5 seconds and even hand me a business card. It's like, we didn't establish anything that
Yeah,
I need to stay
really.
in contact with you. Why would I want your business card? You
I
know,
don't even have business cards
know,
right now.
I know. But there's plenty of times people come up at a demo and like, here's my photography. I'm like, that's great. Why are we staying in touch? You know, so
Right.
you have to come up with a reason for that. Oh, it's
Look,
funny.
I can't believe there's so many comments. Woohoo.
Skip is saying, I get so irritated with people thinking everything can be fixed in camera. Wait, okay, what?
I don't know. But
We're not going to touch that one. Because the reality is that you should do as much as you can in camera. If there's something that you're trying to achieve, especially on a commercial level that requires composites or something after the fact, that's another story. But if you're relying on constant post editing for everything you do in every format, platform, style, whatever, I'm gonna fight you back on that. I'm not a brat. What do you call me a brat for?
But like when I got started in this industry when I was 23, there were these really big production studios like David Langley and then like Bill Stetner and Peter B. Kaplan, all these names that a lot of these people aren't with us anymore.
Yeah.
But we had these big, it was the 80s. They were spending money. They were having giant parties. The first person I met on day one, I went to an event. I had to capture an event on a camera for PDN. Jay Maisel, I took a photo of him.
I tried to get him on here.
And well, maybe after I say this, he won't come on. But like, he yelled at me for pressing the shutter too hard, but it was Jay Maisel. I'm like, "Oh my god, Jay Maisel talked to me." Like, back then, like, he still is, and, like, he's a legend, but, like, it was so cool for me. I didn't, like, crumple in the corner and cry. I thought, "This is really cool," and he was right. I was, like, pressing down too hard, but I was taking all the party
Yeah,
photos,
yeah, yeah.
and it was, like, crazy. We had a giant studio back in the PDN office, and we always had parties, and it was such a tight-knit community.
Yeah.
But I find that for the industry is still tight knit but spread out, if that makes sense. But it's still important. Like, we had like APA and ASMP, and they still exist, and all those organizations, and the community is so important. So even if you feel lost and you don't know what you're doing with your photography, stay connected with
Right.
those through those organizations. Come to these Adorama events; they're amazing.
So when I
They
used to,
had Neil Leifer
dude,
a couple of weeks ago.
so a million years ago when Dan started doing what he called Pro Day, I would be on sets for like, I'm not even making this up, like Viacom. And you'd be like, hey, Dan's going to do a demo. Are you going to that? I'm like, yeah, I guess I'll go to that or whatever. And then you go in, there'd be like daily news photographers hanging out. And it was like, you really were like, Dan was doing a demo, but we were all just finding an excuse to kind of
Right.
congregate. But I will say this though, as much as I was like me against everybody, if I was ever going through like months where I couldn't find work, the first thing I would do is try to become an assistant again for somebody. It's like take a step back for a second,
Right.
try to get on any set I can. And then the next thing you know, that photographer was like, I can't take this job. You want to take it? And then you're back in the game. Like, don't
Right.
like step back sometimes. It's okay. You don't have to keep on being like, I'm the best in the world. The egos, I think, kill
Right.
most photographers, don't you
Oh,
think?
yeah. Well, yes, but,
There's a lot of egos in this industry.
I feel like there's not as much as there used to be. But, like, remember, like, during COVID, everyone had to pivot, right? So,
Yes.
like, you were a wedding photographer, and then you were shooting the menu for the cafe down the street if you could get there because we couldn't go out. But I remember, like, everyone had to pivot, and I think so, like, if you're shooting one thing, I always say, like, find your niche, but now I've, like, changed my mind and think, like, because wedding photographers shoot still life and food, and they're doing documentary, they're doing everything. So it was like a little easier, I think, for them, like during COVID and after, to sort of move into other genres. But I would like encourage also, like, tap into those other photo genres
Mm.
as well. I mean, you do a lot of other types of you don't just do the effects
I
stuff.
I try my whole career. I always said like I don't care what it is, I'll figure it out. Right?
Right.
Like if you tell me I got to shoot food tomorrow after I just shot a bleeding zombie, well, guess what? That food is glistening and that zombie was glistening. I can figure
Shoot
something
a
out here.
bleeding zombie eating food.
I,
I
I
want to see that photo.
dude, I
Okay.
actually
Even though zombies don't eat,
zombies
but
don't eat food. I
but
I was gonna do something with a carnivore. I'm not gonna get a cannibal theme. I'm not gonna get that though. But I think it's also look what I'm doing now. Like if you talk to me 15 years ago and said you're going to be the guy live streaming everything, I'm like, what is live stream?
yeah,
We're going to do
right.
what? Or like learning audio, like, and I think there's so many creatives that are very stubborn to learn, so, especially photographers. It's like, especially when mirrorless came out, they were like, I don't want to learn video. No one said you had to, but there's a switch on your camera that does it. You might want to offer that to client if you want to keep going
Yeah,
forward,
true.
or maybe it's another palette for you to paint with where that you want to do something else. And I think COVID forced a lot of people into that. They were like, how can I start a channel? And then they all found out how hard it is to host or be creating
Right.
content.
Right.
And all of a sudden those mean comments went away on your stuff. And they were like, oh, I get it. It's totally hard now. I did want to ask you though, because I'm trying to be a little more proactive in reading biographies on photographers now. And I'm picking up like Ouija and Avedon. Avedon's like my guy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any that you recommend people check out as people? Because I bet once you've met the people that shot the images, it changed the way you looked at those images after you met the person that actually shot them, right? How
Right.
often does that happen?
Right. They're different. Like, just even meeting Elliot Erwitt in person at his studio, because I think he's one of the most brilliant photographers that ever lived, but he was like shy and very humbling and humbled, and he was just he wasn't this force that you see in his photographs,
Mhm.
even though they were quiet in a way, but they are legendary. And so I just like meeting these people in person because they were completely different from their work. Like Harry Benson, I think I told you earlier, was he started out like photographing the Beatles, or he was on their early tour. And then I met him in this like wraparound terrace of his penthouse one day and was interviewing him. This was years and years ago. And then he was like throwing peanuts for his dogs to eat. And then his dogs were like licking my toes because I was wearing sandals. And I'm like, this doesn't happen every day. I'll remember this forever.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do a coffee table book on all those people, those legends. And of course, I didn't document it or anything. So,
Yeah, but you could write it.
I can write it, but I should have taken photos at the time.
Yeah.
But like they were very different in person, but like they were people. They're just people, but they were also lovely people.
That would be a cool book if you showed me like an anthology of people.
Yeah, I mean, I've interviewed a ton of people. I remember George Tice. I'm not sure how many people know his name, but he's a really great photographer. And I got this call to go interview him. And I had to go like on Thanksgiving to New Jersey in his basement. Didn't know him. I said to every family member, I might be killed. This is where I am. No, he was the loveliest man. He brought me down into his basement to see all his work. Like that stuff, I was like in my 20s then. It was so cool.
See, I think that would be cool. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Like, write that book.
I want to.
I think if you, even if you did 60-second videos of you're like, this is Irving Penn. And then.
And here's my, right.
Yeah. And you talk, because I think this is the era for that to happen. While social is negative and positive, I think that you wouldn't have had a platform for people to care about those
right.
The people. Now people really want to dig deeper and go BTS. Behind the scenes of the behind the scenes, which I think is where you were at. I think you should totally tell us.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Why not?
Behind the scenes.
Why not?
But again, I didn't answer your question again. But does Mark Seliger have a book? Because I love all of his portraits that he did, like for Rolling Stone. And I don't know if he has a book, but he should. Yeah, or he should have another one. Or Stephen Wilkes. I love his work. You must know that name, right?
I have to see that probably.
Okay, but.
I know people by images more than their names half the time. Like, oh, that guy. Oh, her.
Right,
like,
right.
It's the same thing with faces. Like, I don't know their name. Like, oh yeah, them. I need a visual, and then I go, oh yeah. I think I have like a weird disability.
Well, Neil Leifer's working on a book at Toshin, right? He was, because my friend Rule or Golden is his editor at Toshin, and I'm excited to see that book.
Yeah, that's all on horse racing. His books,
but that's crazy. Cool. Yeah, my most favorite images of Above the Ring, that shot he showed us.
That's his favorite.
So cool. It is his favorite.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, I wish you could slap that up. It's such a great photo.
You know what I found interesting about that shot though? Neil shot, the Cleveland knocked out while Muhammad Ali's walking away. Everyone shows it as a square. He showed me. He puts it up in his house as a diamond.
Oh, really?
He hangs it up.
I love it. And actually, this is another thing people don't know about me. I'm a huge boxing fan.
Oh, really?
Yes. Huge.
Wow.
I know.
Oh, well.
I have all these hidden things.
Yeah, well, you were telling me you
played the violin at 7, the Suzuki method. Yeah. But like, you don't start until someone asks you to come on a show like this. You don't remember anything about yourself. So I started like digging, doing my own research on me. And I found all this stuff.
But Jacqueline, don't you think that because you did all this during an era where it wasn't self-absorbed, now, if you don't constantly put out a story of everything you're doing, it doesn't exist, right? But you were just living it.
Oh,
then
yeah.
You look back and you go, oh, I did all this crazy cool
stuff. It's
bad
bad because I have no ego. I don't promote myself. But I'm like, oh, damn, I did a lot of stuff.
You think I like this curse that everything I do has to be constantly, you think I like this? I mean, there's people that come up to you and start talking about things like they know you. And I'm like, I have no idea who you are. This is really weird. You may know all this stuff, but I don't know anything about, how many times I stop people like, and your name is like, what? Can we talk for a second? It's kind of nuts. I was just thinking about Jay Mizell. You brought him up. You know what's really heartbreaking?
In the chat. No, I'm kidding.
What's heartbreaking is he had that building.
The tenement, yeah.
And then now it's a Supreme store. Like,
it is?
Tell me how.
But it was a tenement museum or something, or was that building?
No, it was the one that had that giant Next graffiti piece on it.
And
it's on the Bowery, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's a Supreme store that
That's
kids line up outside for. And I'm like, do you have any idea how legendary this building is? But it's so perfect metaphor that like we pushed out legend and put in like hype. I'm like, this is just killing me.
I mean, I recently met this guy who's like 30. His name is Simon. He goes by Simon Soliloquy, and we're actually going to work on some like producing some video project. But he knew who Ed Sullivan was, which blew my mind away. I'm like, I want everyone to know these like the legends of photography or someone like Ed. Like he knew who he was. Like, doesn't that blow your mind?
No,
I mean, you're much younger than me, but still, doesn't it blow your mind? Or you're asking yourself who Ed Sullivan is?
No, I know Ed Sullivan is.
I'm just kidding.
That's how it's kind of like, it's Ed Sullivan. Like, why would I know Ed Sullivan?
I know.
what kills me is when I got younger kids that are going to college that
Right.
come to the events and they can't, they don't know who you're talking about. I say Avalon, like
Oh my God.
like,
That was the one interview I never did that I wish I could have
dude,
done.
I mean, I keep on going back to his work. It's just one of these guys that just really, that's the kind of portraits, like that's everything. And his method and his he wouldn't stop. He was so like almost angry he had to do it. It
Right.
was so crazy. And then I read his biography, not his biography, but someone wrote about him. I didn't know that he got plastic surgery to change his face because he didn't
Oh,
want people to know he was
wow.
Jewish.
Really?
Yeah, like all
Wow.
sorts of stuff. And I'm like, when you start realizing what went into the work, what went into the person that then makes the work, you start looking at the work a little differently and
Yeah.
the level they were at a little differently too. There's a documentary on him packing up the whole building. Yeah, it's I forgot what it's called,
Wow.
but I think it's on YouTube actually. I could be wrong.
I just realized that I can see the chat up
Yeah.
here, and I've been like
No, it's
slanted
good.
the entire
Well, that's
time.
because it's also this screen. Yeah, we were talking about this. If you're,
But I know Marcus Beasley. That name sounds familiar.
he was on this show.
Yeah. Hi, Marcus.
The documentary, we're talking about Jay Mizell's documentary, by the way. If you do a quick Google search, you'll find it. It was crazy. I had to pack up this legend, this legacy. Marcus Beasley is, I had him on here because I felt he was this community. This is a guy that is out there grinding every day, shooting. And you guys in New York have seen his shots. You didn't even know it. It's all over the subways. And he just goes like, and it's like, yeah, because that's your job.
Right.
And I do think it's important that this show should be about who you should know. And that's, I don't care if they're rock stars or whatever. There's somebody I feel that is connecting this community tighter. We're only going to keep going forward if we keep this tight. Like there is no industry without us, and there's no industry without community. There's no community without us. Took me a long time to learn that. I gotta tell you, I was real. Like no one come near me. I was like, get out of my face.
You were maybe a touch like that back when I met you.
Maybe. I think Vanessa Joy brought me to the
Vanessa, yes.
Yeah, and when Vanessa Joy met me, I was covered in razor blades. I was like, I don't need any of you marketing people. And then she was like, this is the new era. This is how we do things. And here's how you can fix your business. I was like, oh. And then she brought me to Rangefinder.
I mean, I do miss WPPI because that was like the show arm of the Rangefinder. Not anymore.
No? It's still there. It's still in Vegas.
No, I know. But like, I have my reasons. But anyway.
Yeah, right, fair.
But like, I love that show. And I would walk down the hall like a celebrity. People would just be on me. Like, I remember this guy was walking with me. He's like, Jesus Christ, I can't walk 2 steps because everybody wants to talk to you. And like, that was one reason why when I got laid off, I was like, boo hoo, no one's going to do that anymore. But like, no, I'm still like talking to everybody. I just love, like, show is where I got to meet so many photographers that I still talk to.
It's the heart of it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it's
like
the heart
all
of
conversion.
it. Yeah.
You should go to PPA's imaging.
You know, I've never been to PPA. I was supposed to go one year. I got sick. I didn't go.
So
Jen Maloney and I wanted to go.
You should totally go.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it because it's like, it's not in the city so much. It's more in the middle of the country.
Yeah,
kind of
right.
thing. So I didn't know about it. And then when I went, they're like, we're 150 years old. I'm like, no. This is how
Oh
many
yeah,
members we
they've been
have.
around.
Like, what?
Were you there when they brought the bull out on the show?
No, I was not there.
A
live bull?
Yeah, I think so.
That was in Texas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not there. Yeah.
But I've never been to imaging.
Imaging's great. And I do think, looking back, I wish I had resources like that when I was growing up. Like this event space, I take such a thing about it because like this wasn't around. I wasn't around when you didn't have free access to such amazing instructors or just even be able to meet these people that are shooting and are giving away what they know or shooting right in front of you. And there's so many times that someone could be like, I put the light here, but like you watch the little things,
right?
Like the way they're talking to somebody or the things they are worried about. Like you look at the little things, that's what elevates you. You know what I mean? Anybody can tell you like, I put the light here and over here.
Right.
Forget that.
I love all the behind the scene, the anecdotes. I love that part. I'm bummed that I missed Ian Spanier because I don't know where I was, but I love his work. Look up his work. He's great.
He was live. I'll put the QR
live.
code up. You guys can, where is it?
We constantly chat on LinkedIn. And sorry, Ian, that I couldn't do it, but Teresa did it, and it's great.
Yeah. We'll have him back.
I want to do an article on him for the blog.
He's a celebrity portrait photographer, works in some really tight situations.
Really great lighting tips and stuff. Did he get into that?
Yeah, that's what the whole thing was.
He's
live.
Brilliant.
Yeah. That's on the events channel. If you guys want, you can scan it. Also, he has an episode of Call for the Creators. He's like midway through somewhere. I can't believe we did 90 something episodes of this so far.
Wow.
I know. It's kind of
Wait,
nuts, right?
what am I, only 94? If I was
I think you're
95 or
93.
100, I would like win something.
Oh,
But I have my lovely timber bag, which I'm really excited about.
you got to start
It's,
shooting some more though.
I know.
We got maybe.
Wait, let's do that where Daniel like
I
teaches
think
me how
so.
to do, or you and someone films it. Like,
Yeah. No, Dan did that with Marissa. Why wouldn't he do it also? I think it'd be
yeah.
great. Also, I really want to get you in here to do portfolio reviews. I think that
I
is
was,
super.
I'm real. That one thing I will be like have an ego about. I'm really good at that. Like
Yeah.
really good.
What do you look for in a portfolio? If someone came to you and is like, I want to get going, what is it about overall? I forget
Like
about the subject
like
matter.
in
Like,
an
what do you?
image.
Yeah, what is it about a portfolio that you look for? Cohesion? Is there
Like I'm looking at the composition and like, is there a central focus? But all those things sound a little more technical. For me, it's like something grabs me that is intangible. I can't put my finger on it, but it there's a feeling that it conjures up. So you can't tell someone how to do that, but I know when I look at it. Because I actually like the stuff that doesn't follow rule of thirds or be
right? Yeah, of
like
course.
so perfect. I don't
Yeah,
want the perfect stuff. I want to see you, the image maker, in that like piece of work. How do you do that? That's like the golden question, right?
Yeah.
So I can't really pinpoint, but I know when I see it.
How often have you gotten a portfolio and you're like, you're so close? You're so close. Like I can feel that there's something here, but you're not hitting it. How often does that happen? Do you
It does happen. And
Yeah.
one of those reviews, like in Dumbo years ago, somebody wanted to shoot fashion and he showed me his fashion work. And I said, that's like one of the hardest genres to break into. This was like way, way back in the 90s or something. And I said, I really don't think you should pursue that. Here's what I think you should do. And so I just gave him an option. I said, this is lovely, but it's so competitive. And at the time he wasn't using, like, if you're shooting fashion, you have to know, like, what are the trends in fashion? What are the brands to show? Are you working with like an up and coming designer? Like he didn't have any of that. And so I think I said, your portrait work is stronger. And so I just suggested, I didn't say to stop shooting fashion.
Did they take your advice?
I think so.
Yeah. Fashion is really brutal. And also
really brutal.
You have to set the trends. You don't want to chase the trends so much. Like once the trends are out there, you're already on the end.
Oh, they're already over.
Yeah, it's already over.
Yeah.
It's funny. Marcus is saying I was not expecting my name to be remembered. See?
Of course.
This is actual relationships are what it's about. People just meeting someone it's not it. You have to stay in touch, being up on each other.
Yeah.
And it's easier than ever before. I feel like even just dropping comments on each other's stuff that you post out there is like,
well, even this master planner and printer, Martin Axon, who reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, you helped me back then printing this or writing it or whatever. The fact that he remembered me and like, it's so cool because like these people are my legends, so I just love like when we reconnect.
But that's how cool is that? Can you imagine how many people over the decades you've been at this? I mean, not just this level, but like what you've given people platforms, you know what I mean? And it's not stuff that goes away. Like it's tangible. You can physically hold the platforms you gave them. That's bananas. You know what I mean?
Right.
What would you, do you feel that there is a path forward for magazines now? I feel like they have to be almost like low cost books. I feel like they need to be like twice a year or something like that.
I know. I don't think you can. We were doing like 12 times a year, 260 pages in Rangefinder every month, like back in its heyday. Bill Herder was the editor when I came on, and then like he passed away eventually, and then I was like moved into the spot, which is sad. People didn't like that, but like it was hard. Yeah. But 260 pages like per issue, 12 issues, and then we had to like start doing online as well.
Yes.
I love print, and I was really sad when they made this 70-year-old iconic magazine a digital product only. I want magazines to come back. I don't know, but like you do quarterlies, right? Maybe a quarterly.
Like Black magazines, like 4 times a year, or something now, or something like that. How many people went into an issue? Like 260 pages. Was the staff 100 people? Like what was the staff like for that magazine?
Me and like 3 other people. Okay, we were doing it back. Maybe it was like 6 then, but then it was eventually me and Libby Peterson, who I'm so proud of because she writes for the New York Times now. She's a staff writer. She's amazing. And like at one point, before I left, it was just me and Libby doing the magazine and online, and then eventually they phased out the magazine.
Is there anything you would have done differently with the magazine, looking back on it?
I don't know. Like we did themes, and so it was easy to like get if you wanted somebody in a specific issue. If you didn't get them in that one theme, there were other opportunities. We won awards like design awards. Uh, what would I do differently? Put myself on the cover? No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Like become like Oprah, where she put herself on every
No.
cover of. Oh no, I'm joking.
But
But I thought it was people. It was very well received. It was also free, so I feel like
yeah, but it was like everywhere.
if we charged, would people have bought it? Uh, we had great advertisers, so like we were able to sustain it, like being free, and then having the advertising support it, and having it at the
But I
show.
think the whole power of it was ever present in the right physical places. I mean, you didn't just find it anywhere. I just knew that if I saw PDN on a counter somewhere, that person was somehow connected to the game, or I was in a place that something went down.
Right.
And it was just, I remember seeing it like major studios, and I was like, just psyched out. Like,
It was everywhere.
it was very, very cool. And I think sometimes we took it for granted because it was always there or something like that. But
Right.
then when it was gone, people started going like, well, it was almost weird. It was almost like your cousin left. You're like,
No, I know.
what just happened?
I
here?
know.
I don't know. I hope that there's things come back around and stuff like that. But I would love
Yeah.
to see all the back issues of PDN put somewhere.
We had them all in a binder. We had all the rangefinders in bind, like many
Gotta digitize
binders.
it.
And we meant to digitize it, and then we got sold or we got laid off, and nothing happened.
Well,
So
Kristen, if you
I
got
don't know where all
of them,
that stuff is. Yeah,
let's
Kristen.
digitize
Was
them.
it Kristen who has it?
I mean, you can make it into an app. Is it so? Is working and writing for the Adorama blog now? Is it more like playtime because it's less pressure? You just get to make an article. You're not worried about going to print or something like that. It's more of the moment. Is there like? Does it
I mean,
feel-
I have deadlines, and so like I'll have a 3-week deadline, or sometimes Daniel will say, "Can I get this in 2 days?"
Yeah.
And so like I just put the pressure on myself. He never puts pressure on me, but it is fun because I'm talking to so many people that I had lost touch with, or people I've met that I didn't meet before. And I'm writing everything from like about this new law that New York just passed on prohibiting like advertisers using synthetic performers. Like you're going to be fined if you don't disclose that you've used an AI generated person in your ad, to like the Marilyn Monroe piece, or doing the best products of the year, or gift guides and stuff like that. And I'm also writing actually for Isabel Brodsky for the Adorama Business Solutions and the Adorama Rental Company. And so I love working with her, and I'm ghostwriting for them. So that's been fun as well, meeting the people on that side. James Bushy, I don't know if you know him,
Yeah, I
but
know
he's
James, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So that's been really fun too.
Well, this was crazy. I'm so glad I got you. It's just also interesting how full circle stuff comes. I remember going to your office and getting a 2-page spread. Now you're in my
I
office
know.
and you're getting a live stream. So we're doing this. Guys, if you don't know Jacqueline Tobin, check yourself. Socials down there. Also, stay up on the Adorama blog. Jacqueline is one of a whole crew of great writers, and Daniel is doing, I hate giving you compliments, Daniel. I hate it so much. But you're doing a great job on the blog.
He is. He rocks.
he's
He's my hero.
I'm so glad I brought you in. Guys, if
This
you
has
didn't know
been
the
great.
legend-
It's over now. Oh my god!
I told you, you're gonna blow
I was so
something.
nervous. I'm like, damn, now it's over.
It's just a
Am I allowed
conversation,
to say
man.
damn, sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just a conversation.
Okay.
And I know you can talk, lady. Don't give me
I know.
that.
Can I come back?
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't even let you get to say anything.
I don't care. I think you should come back and you should do talks about portfolio reviews. I think you should talk about how to curate work. I think that is the stuff we need to touch on. Yes, the demos and the pretty girl with the lights, whatever. This is the stuff that will really help you out going forward. If not just the technical can only get you so far, guys. I mean, it's crazy. So hopefully we can get you back to an actual demo on the events channel. That'd be sick.
I'm up for it.
I mean, I know you're around. You're always at the events.
I live
so.
uptown. I'm always around.
Awesome. If you guys didn't know the legend, now you know Jacqueline Tobin. And check out, if you can find any archive of Photo District News PDN, check it out. It was so cool. I think there isn't an issue that I couldn't open up now and have like some flashback.
I don't have one thing. I had like hundreds in my dad's basement, and now
you didn't keep one favorite? Nothing?
Maybe it's somewhere in the bottom of my
Wow.
I have to look. I have some rangefinders, but
I gotta find the one you printed. I can't believe they only gave me 2 copies of it. What's going on here? Like, it's a free, whatever. It's all good.
well, this has been fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget, there is a bunch of stuff happening here at Adorama, including Daniel Norton will be shooting live yet again. Check out adorama.com/events for the full thing. Actually, you know what I can do? I can put this up And that is the event schedule. And then this
Thanks, Sean.
is where we stream all the stuff out of this event space too. Make sure you're hitting subscribe on that channel. We just passed 100,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for that. And Jacqueline, thank you so much for coming through. I'm really psyched I got you on here.
Yeah, this was awesome.
And
Nick, I'll go for coffee and pizza.
it's a weird combination,
I
man.
know,
I don't know, man. You know, I could do the dough and coffee and the cheese and coffee, but the sauce, I don't think I could do. Jacqueline,
thank
you. So
you.
much.
This is fantastic.
Guys,
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
We'll see you for the rest of the week. Dan's live on Thursdays. There's photo walks happening. So much stuff. Make sure you check out Adorama.com/events. And we will see you guys on the next one. Later, guys. Peace.